Hey guys, Mark Holmes here, and as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, it don't work without you guys. So make sure I got you guys. Man, today's one of them days that I feel like I got the weight of the world on me, man. It's been busy as can be, and I'm really, really tired. But the show must go on. I gotta do what I gotta do. There's no rest for the weary. Hell, I'll rest when I'm dead. Okay, I gonna have all the time and forever when I'm dead to rest. So in the meantime, I'm gonna keep on busting a busting a move, trying to get everything done. The Cowboys made some moves today. All right, we signed to our practice squad Stephen Parker, journeyman safety, played with the Rams and the Dolphins last year. Last year had his first action, having 20 combined tackles and 2 interceptions. Did have 2 interceptions. 2 interceptions. So you never know. You might be a fit for the Cowboys. Might be able to offer some help. Sometimes you get guys who, when we sign them, you don't think much about it. You really don't. It's kind of like, oh, you know? Because when we signed George Selvey was I love George Selvey. George Selvey's cool. He's actually one of E2 Blue's frat brothers. But when we signed George Selvey, who had been a journeyman defensive end, I want to say he played with Jacksonville, I want to say Atlanta. He was, I can't even remember, it was so long ago, but he played with 4 different teams. And I think he had only a couple sacks. He was truly like, he'd been in the league like 4 years, been with 4 different teams, and only had like 1 or 2 sacks. Nothing. So when the Cowboys signed him, everybody's like, man, why are you signing that guy? Because you never know. You never know when you sign somebody. You may look at somebody and say, well, he's a great fit for what we do. It might be that that person was not being used because there was great players in front of him, or he didn't fit the system. You know what I'm saying? And you're maybe you just have bad coaches. And maybe you get a guy in the right environment with the right scheme and the right coaches that all of a sudden become great. Think about Tony Romo. Nobody thought anything about Tony Romo. He went undrafted. But he was fortunate enough to come to the Cowboys under Sean Payton and Bill Parcells, and they ended up making him actually a really good quarterback. It's circumstances. And you have to wonder, for example, if Steve Young had stayed at Tampa Bay, would he be in the Hall of Fame? You know, everybody says, well, Tom Brady's the GOAT. We'll see this season as he's down in Tampa Bay if it was all Tom Brady or if it was actually the puppet master pulling the strings. So Stephen Parker added to the practice squad. And the nice thing about the practice squad is you can bring people up. It's not like before. You can bring them up on Saturday and have them ready to play Sunday. And this may be a guy you look at, he's got a little bit of experience. Not a lot, a little bit of experience. You never know. 2 interceptions, 2 interceptions some year would actually lead the Dallas Cowboys. But the Cowboys are going to try and make some moves. The interesting thing is one that has not had any moves is tight end. Cowboys apparently are okay with where we are at tight end, or they've got another plan that we just don't know about. The tight end is definitely on the thin side right now, as well as right tackle. Yeah. We got 5 days to get things right. You don't want to go 0-2. You want to start getting on the right track. The Rams, they're a good team. Playing at home. In a new stadium. Just been on Hard Knocks. They had a lot to prove. and apparently had the referees on their side as well. Now we're coming back home. We'll probably have some fans in the stands. And we need to get right on this game right here and start some momentum. The crazy thing about football is, and it's so overlooked, sometimes the answer is right there in your face, and yet you still don't see it. I've been screaming forever, and we're trying now to get there. But I've been screaming forever about defensive line. You look at what Aaron Donald did on one play. I believe Joe Looney, Zach Martin, and Zeke knocked them all out. Was a one-man wrecking crew. Now Dak, to his credit, only got sacked once, didn't turn over the ball. Not like Carson Wentz. And it's funny because when going into that game, Washington and the Eagles, you couldn't look at the Washington team and say, yeah, they can put up some points. I've been saying all offseason, Washington's defensive line scares me. Now, it was interesting listening to the Washington radio station today because they had Charlie Casserly on there. And of course, the Washington guys are pumping the chest. Man, we're great. Man, that offense, Haskins looked good and everything else. That defense, that defense. And Casserly said, yeah, they did look good. But understand, they weren't playing varsity. They were playing JV. They said, Jason Peters is on the tail end of his career. Thought he was playing guard, and his stuff had eroded. Lane Johnson didn't play. You lost Brandon Brunner or Broner, whatever his name is, and then you lost your other tackle. So it's kind of like they would have gotten people out the stands if there had been people in the stands. So even a former GM of the Washington team kind of said, pump the brakes a little bit. You were playing scrubs. However, you saw how bad Carson Wentz looked with that pressure on him constantly. It's so funny. This is what's so funny. I'm sitting here seeing this petition to bench Dak Prescott for Andy Dalton. And everybody, Dak Prescott lost the game. It's funny that I have yet to hear anybody say that Carson Wentz lost the game for the Eagles. Have you heard any of that? I haven't heard that. I haven't heard that Carson Wentz was a liability, that Carson Wentz just couldn't do anything, or that. Cause the whole loss for the Cowboys seems to be on Dak Prescott's shoulder. Nobody talking about the 154 yards that they got on the ground for the Rams, or the plays that their defense was making. Nobody talks about it. Only Dak. You would think that everybody played perfect out there, and that Dak wasn't the only one. Now, when I hear about Carson Wentz, I haven't heard anybody say that Carson Wentz was terrible. I just hear about how bad the offensive line, and that's it. But hey, this is what Dak always does when he's got the weight of the world on his shoulder. Just flicks that crap off and just keeps on going. Flicking crap off. Odell. Oh. Speaking of the doo-doo Browns, remember when some of you guys were saying, I'll take Baker Mayfield over Dak Prescott? Y'all still want that? You still want that? I'm just curious. Baker Mayfield instead of Dak Prescott? Just checking. All right, y'all. I'm going to go check out some of the late night hype, see what's going on with those guys. And I'm going to go to bed. Like I said, some days just get to you. So much going on in the world, man. So much hate. It makes me sad. All I want to do is spread the mojo, man. Whew. I'll see you early in the morning. I got to get out of here early. I got about 2,000 pounds of sandbags on my truck. And I need about 6,000 more. See you in the morning.